What's up and welcome to FPL Today. I'm your host JNO. Welcome to the channel and welcome to what we learned for Game Week 16, where we look back at Game Week 15 and see what we can tell moving on into the Fantasy Premier League to get us more of those points. And today this episode's actually brought to you by Join the Flock t-shirt. If you don't know what the Flock is, that is what my subscribers, especially in stream, are calling themselves, and we have new merchandise to celebrate the fact that the stream has been going so well. So go and check out the Teespring store where you can check out FPL Today merchandise and maybe pick something up for Christmas. So getting into today's episode, we are looking at first of all the Brighton versus Liverpool game, where Liverpool run riot against Brighton, managing to win 5-1. Liverpool actually had a makeshift defence in this game with Can and Wijnaldum playing in defence, but to be honest they didn't do too bad, only conceding one. Liverpool took 30 minutes to score the first goal, which came from a corner whipped in by Philippe Coutinho, which found Emre Can in the box to head home. And then only 79 seconds after that goal, Salah was breaking with speed, played it out wide to Coutinho, who put in a beautiful ball for Roberto Firmino to put away and put them 2-0 up going into half time. The second half started hopefully for Brighton as Izzy Brown put in a beautiful ball for Glenn Murray, who unfortunately didn't manage to put the ball away, Mignolet making an absolutely fantastic save. And from that again, Salah's pace was blistering and he managed to find Roberto Firmino running into the box, who put home to make it 3-0. However, Brighton didn't just roll over and die, they did manage to get a penalty from what was literally just a little tap by Jordan Henderson on the back of Shane Duffy. Glenn Murray managed to put that away to make it 3-1, and then Coutinho thought that scoreline isn't quite good enough, and Coutinho actually managed to score a beautiful free kick, which is used on this thumbnail, playing the ball under the wall and the keeper just didn't even move, making it 4-1. And then Coutinho running towards the box, his pace and trickery just too much for the Brighton Hove Albion defence, and his shot was deflected but it went in to make it 5-1. And of course that means that Coutinho actually scored 1 goal and 3 assists according to Fantasy Premier League. His goal where it deflected was actually put down as an assist, and the own goal went to the Brighton Hove Albion defender, but that gave him 18 points for the game week. Not a very popular choice at the time of recording this. He's only still owned by 6.3% of players. However, he managed to get a massive haul of points, so if you had him you'd have been laughing, with 2 bonus points added on to his game week score. The other man to come out of this game with a lot of FPL points was Roberto Firmino at 8.4 million. If you're not part of the stream crew, I did actually bring him in slightly inebriated, but I brought him into my side and he went and got me 2 goals, getting me 13 points for 3 bonus points as well. How he got the bonus points over Coutinho, I'm not too sure. And both of these players had good minute per chance and minute per chance creation rate, as you can see on the graphic to the side of me. And I'm very happy that I brought Firmino in, but Coutinho obviously isn't done quite yet in a Liverpool shirt. We then move on to the Arsenal versus Manchester United game, and I went into this game predicting that Arsenal would win by maybe 1 goal. However, what we were actually given, instead of a bore draw or a boring defensive game, was actually a really good game with Manchester United counter-attacking really well and Arsenal really pushing to get back into the game, because they did, unfortunately for them, go behind very early in this one. Lacazette and Matic, both by most, fought to not play in this game before the lineups were announced. Did actually both play in this game. However, there's so much to talk about in this game that isn't actually one of the major talking points. What is one of the major talking points is how quickly Arsenal managed to mess up and concede very early on in the game. For some reason, Arsenal were just very poor at the back in possession of the football. They gave up the ball to Antonio Valencia, who played a 1-2, a very casual 1-2 in fact, with Paul Pogba, and managed to put the ball away to make it 1-0. And then it was Mustafi with a mistake, getting caught on the ball by Lingard. Lingard then linked up with Lukaku, who found Martial, who did a beautiful flick through back to Lingard, who put the ball away. And conveniently, Mustafi then picked up an injury after such a big mistake, maybe not fancying being on the pitch anymore. Hopefully it's not a serious injury though, because Mustafi has looked good apart from in this game. But going down 2-0 so early, you'd have thought maybe Arsenal would have laid over and died, but it wasn't that kind of game week, with Arsenal fighting to get back into this game. And to be honest, David De Gea put on an absolute masterclass of goalkeeping with an incredible 14 saves in this game. If it wasn't for David De Gea, the scoreline could have been much, much higher in this fixture. It took until the second half for Arsenal to get back into the game with a beautifully chipped ball by Sanchez going over to Ramsey, and to be honest it looked like Ramsey miscontrolled it, but it did fall to Lacazette, who managed to put the ball away. And then Arsenal continued to chase for the second, but David De Gea was having none of it. Probably the best moment for me from David De Gea was when he saved from a Lacazette shot down low to his right and then got up quickly enough to get his foot to an Alexis Sanchez attempt at a rebound. However, with Arsenal throwing men forward, this is when Manchester United actually hit back on the counter-attack with a beautiful counter-attack with Lingard and Pogba breaking forward, and Pogba does brilliantly to get the ball back into the box for Lingard to have an easy tap home. And then with the game already newsworthy, the referee kind of chiped in with his own contributions to the game, and to be honest, if I talk about the stuff that happened in that game, it could take forever to fully explain what I think about the decisions the ref made. Pogba was unfortunate to see the red. However, in this day and age, in this current climate in the Premier League, if you put your opponent in danger, then it is a red card, and it was a dangerous tackle. It wasn't a deliberate foul, but it was a dangerous tackle. And then also Danny Welbeck had a stone cold penalty not given to him, as he managed to do a beautiful chop turn, getting past Darmian, and then Darmian took his legs out in the box. But because Danny Welbeck didn't appeal, didn't seem to get given as a penalty, which isn't really fair to a player that is just trying to continue to play football instead of diving to the floor to win a penalty. The star performers in this one, of course, Jesse Lingard getting 2 goals with 15 points returned for 5.8 million. That is a fantastic return. He got all 3 bonus points and had a minute per chance at 25.3. If Lingard continues to play, he would be a great option at such a cheap price. And then David De Gea, also at 5.8 million, is just standing out as the best goalkeeper in the league and potentially could be the best goalkeeper for value for money in the Fantasy Premier League if he continues to play like he currently is. 8 points despite the fact he conceded, because he got 14 saves in total and 2 bonus points as well. So great performance by David De Gea, and I think it's very obvious why Real Madrid are still considering trying to get him. We then move on to a game that I thought would have been higher up on this show, but other games just went and outshone it, and that was Chelsea versus Newcastle. Chelsea managing to win 3-1. Chelsea got off to the worst start possible, however, with the ball bouncing all over the place in their defence and no Chelsea defender really sorting out the situation, which allowed the ball to drop to Dwight Gale, who managed to take the lead for Newcastle. But then Eden Hazard, on great form at the moment, decided enough is enough, and although Christensen had come close earlier with a header against the post, this was really the Hazard show, as Azpilicueta attempted to find Morata in the box. A defender did manage to get on the end of it before Morata, but it just fell to Hazard, who put the ball away on the volley. And then a long ball over the top was dealt with horribly by Matt Ritchie, which allowed Moses to fire in a rocket of a cross onto Morata's head. And then Chelsea continued to press, missed a few chances. Hazard could have got more the way the game was going, but then after Moses was brought down in the box by Matt Ritchie, who had an awful game for mistakes, to be fair, Eden Hazard went and did a Panenka penalty. That is just how much confidence he has in himself at the moment, and Eden Hazard is definitely looking like a must-have player. Again, another person I brought in live on stream, so feel free to join the streams when they're done. Next stream should hopefully be Tuesday night. So the star performers in this game, of course, Eden Hazard is one of them. Apologies for the graphic being wrong. Obviously a mistake I made, but it's 10.7 million Eden Hazard comes in at. Points he scored in this one with 15 points from 2 goals and 3 bonus points. He had a chance every 8.7 minutes, which is absolutely incredible, and created a chance every 39 minutes, which is fantastic returns, and to me makes him the premium price midfielder you need in your side at the moment. And then Victor Moses, also at 6.4 million, he managed to get 9 points in this one with 2 assists and 1 bonus point, but it was chances he had himself which were higher than chances created. He actually had a chance every 22.5 minutes. Moses looking like a decent option now that he's back in that Chelsea team. And then the final game we're going to look at is actually Everton versus Huddersfield, purely because I've been waiting to talk about Everton players, considering I thought they would have a decent team this year, and once the run of fixtures softened for them, they would start performing. But it seems like a new manager coming in has had the desired effect, as Calvert-Lewin and Sigurdsson both managed to get in the score sheet in this one, giving Everton the 2-0 win. Neither team had a great first half, to be honest, but it was the second half where Everton turned it on. First goal coming from cut in by Aaron Lennon from the right, who managed to find Calvert-Lewin in the box, who flicked it on beautifully for Sigurdsson to put home. To be honest though, that was really the only thing Sigurdsson did of worth in this game. And then Huddersfield were dispossessed by Everton, and then Rooney played a beautiful ball to Calvert-Lewin, who managed to get lucky with a deflection and put it past the Huddersfield keeper to make it 2-0, and a very, very good performance, and a second good performance to be honest from Calvert-Lewin, making him seem like he could be the budget striker for people's Fantasy Premier League sides. So the star performance, of course, Calvert-Lewin at 5.1 million, 12 points is a great return, 1 goal and 1 assist with 3 bonus points. He didn't actually have that many chances though, he only had a chance every 45 minutes, but he could grow in confidence and seems to be nailed on with Sam Allardyce, of course. Whenever I say that though, that seems to be the nail in the player's coffin and they don't play. And then Sigurdsson, he got 9 points in this one. I think I've made another mistake, which is embarrassing. I think it says 19 on the graphic, but apologies for that. It's actually 9 points that he got from 1 goal and 1 bonus point. However, his underlying stats really weren't much to talk about, and I think I've also got them wrong, which is embarrassing, but I was trying to cook dinner and do my stats at the same time, which might be why. And then finally we have other performers, and Otamendi, who I'm recording this just after the Man City game, actually returned a goal. I've been saying it would happen a lot recently, especially in stream, and he kind of got robbed of one last game week and managed to finally get one in this game week. Shame he didn't also get a clean sheet, otherwise it would have been a great return of points from Otamendi. At 5.8 million, he's managed to get a goal in this game and 3 bonus points with a chance in every half. And then Speroni, £4 million, he wasn't meant to start. It looked like Hennessy was meant to start, and then something happened, so Speroni came in. He actually managed to get a clean sheet, getting 11 points in total because he had 7 saves as well, and he got 3 bonus points. So Julian Speroni could be a great budget option for your sides to let you spend money elsewhere. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode as always. If you've enjoyed the episode, please hit that like button, it helps so much. Also share it on Twitter if you can, and at JNO United on it if you want me to see you sharing the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here for more Fantasy Premier League content. And if you haven't jumped in on the streams yet, why the heck not? We're having loads of fun in streams at the moment, and I'm also making a lot more in-depth thoughts because I have a lot more time to speak, of course, than doing a shorter video for YouTube. And that is that. So I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game. And join the flock.